Welcome to your daily crypto news. Before we go any further, make sure you're a subscriber to our channel. We're running a giveaway right now. We're going to give away the equivalent of $100 in Ethereum. You have to subscribe to our channel to enter. You can check out the information below, but basically all you have to do is like our videos and make a comment. Every video you like and comment on between May 12th and May 20th, you'll get one entry for the contest. So today, let's look at the markets. Right now, the market cap is at $394 billion. It got as low as $377 billion yesterday. Bitcoin dominance is 37.1%. Let's actually go here to the Bitcoin dominance chart. If you didn't know this, you just click on that number, 37.1, and this is the page it will take you to. So as you can see, Bitcoin dominance was quite high for a very long time. But let's zoom in a little bit. I kind of want to show you guys this. As you guys can see, really what I want to show you is the white line here. So the white line is all other alts other than the ones listed there. So I believe the ones listed there are kind of like the average of the top 10 since the altcoins really started rising. So back during the crash, the majority of the coins, the altcoins, were holding dominance over Ethereum and Ripple. You can kind of look here in the middle. I wish I could do that without having the little chart come up. But you can see where Ripple actually passed Ethereum at some point, and all of the other alts were much higher. We got into, in between March and April, Ethereum actually passed all the other altcoins. But now you can really see the gap here between where altcoins are at right now and Ethereum. So right now, alts are kind of dominating the market. There's always ICOs coming out, this is the closest that the alts have ever been to the Bitcoin market cap. So, and of course, when I say the alts, that doesn't include the ones here. Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Ripple, Dash, NEM, Monero, IOTA, NEO. So it doesn't include those, but it's just kind of cool to follow the track of Bitcoin dominance. Will we see the altcoins pass Bitcoin before Ethereum does? Will Ethereum ever, as they call it, the flippening, will it occur? I don't know, but I think the chart's pretty cool to look at. Right now, as I said, Bitcoin dominance is around 37%. It was as low as 36% in the last couple weeks before we had the mini crash here. So just a quick look at the top 10. We've got a few losers, a few winners. Bitcoin is barely up. Right now, it's at 8,600. So nothing really ground shaking there. We'll look at Ken is up 40%. If you don't know Ken, it is basically through the Kick app. It's very cheap. It's not even a penny. It's very far away from a penny. That would have something to do with the fact that their circulating supply is 756 billion. Way too high in my opinion. But it had quite the spike yesterday or the last 24 hours. Skycoin, Substratum, we talked about yesterday in our news video. Storm is one that I really like. Mixin also up. And then from there, it just gets into kind of normal gains, 5-6%, somewhere around there. So biggest losers of the day, nothing over 7%. You know, when the losses are not more than 10%, it's just kind of normal fluctuation. I mean, you can look at Wanchain here and see it had a spike, and then it's just kind of down to where it was before the spike. So we see that a lot with these coins that take dips. Because what we see a lot of times are these biggest losers. They're really just corrections, and today is really no different. So let's look at this article. Will consensus spark the great bull run of 2018? A lot of people are betting on this week being the moon. I mean, and I'll show you some evidence for why that could be the case. But I don't know if over this 1 week, if this will be the spot where we really hit warp speed, you know, hyperdrive, if you will. So in the past, the event has marked the beginning of massive bull runs. But I want to focus on this part. If you're into cryptocurrency, you know this event's happening. I wish I was there. I can't make it this year. Hopefully next year I'll be there. But it says, I can't help but think of all the past indicators of huge bull runs that did not materialize into massive gains. So even though there's all this hype about this week, I agree with that statement. It seems like Chinese New Year, when Wall Street gets their bonuses, after Christmas, when everybody's, taking their money out to buy gifts, then I think there was a little bit of truth to after tax day, we did start to see an increase. We predicted that on our channel that was going to happen. We predicted after tax day that that would be finally when we would see the markets turn around, and sure enough, they did. So give myself a little pat on the back there. But I do think that we will see increases this week. I want to be clear about this. I do think we will see gains this week. I don't know if we'll see the gains that people are hoping for. Last year, after consensus, things went up, but then there was a dip immediately, like 2 weeks after that. So hopefully that's not what we see. But I want to show you guys this chart that's very interesting, which basically displays the consensus event from 2015 to 2018 and how many people were there. This year, there's going to be over 7,000 people there, almost 3 times what was there last year. And so this talks about Bitcoin and the altcoins and their gains. As you can see, in each year, there have been some good gains, especially after the conference. In the last 3 years, there's been no lower than a 78% gain. So we've kind of reached numbers that are much larger and kind of harder. It's harder to double a market cap if your market cap is $1 billion as opposed to if it's 100,000. You know, there's just got to be more excitement to double that number. So I don't know if we'll see 78% gains. I would like to see over the next 2 weeks, I would like to see at least maybe a 50% gain. I think that's probably what we're in the range of seeing. But, look at the altcoins. I mean, last year they had a 552% return. So would love to see that number around 100%. That sure would be great. I don't know if it's possible. I think maybe 50% for Bitcoin, maybe 75% for the altcoins, I think is kind of realistic. I hope I'm wrong, though. I mean, I hope we get 1,000% returns, right? I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer here. I'm just trying to keep things realistic, because what's going to happen is if everybody has these high hopes and expectations for what's going to happen, and then it doesn't happen, then, we're going to see massive sell-offs, and we're going to be right back where we're at right now or where we were at yesterday. I don't think, Bitcoin at this point is really capable of going much lower than this little dip we had. I do believe that the next time we go over 10,000, that I believe will be next week after the conference, or maybe even during the conference. I believe the next time we cross that threshold will be the last time Bitcoin is ever under $10,000. And I believe you better get your bags packed. I've said it before, because when this bull run starts, we really haven't seen the bull run. What we've really been seeing over the last few months is almost a correction from the huge dip that we had, the crash. We've been seeing a correction. We're getting ready for the bull run. So I believe this is going to kick it off. I believe it's going to go all the way through summer. One thing that people are thinking may happen during this is Coinbase announces their next set of cryptocurrencies they will be putting on. So that leads me into this article I found, why Basic Attention Token will be the first ERC20 token listed on Coinbase. So I want to say a couple things before I get started here with this article. Basic Attention Token is my favorite cryptocurrency. It's my favorite token, coin. It doesn't matter. I love Basic Attention Token. I love what they're doing. And before a couple of weeks ago, I would have agreed with this article 100%. We're going to look at the reasons real quick why they say they believe Basic Attention Token will be added to Coinbase. Coinbase will only add Apple-verified virtual currencies having to do with the App Store, basically. BAT is a perfect fit for Coinbase. I totally agree with that. Coinbase employees are tweeting about it and referencing, or in reference to Basic Attention Token. We went over all of that in a video we did a few weeks ago. Or I think we actually did that in our Basic Attention Token review. Brian Armstrong seems to really love Basic Attention Token and their founder. Previous partnerships and ties with Coinbase. BAT is classified as a property with utility, not a security. So I think all these are true. And what I want to see happen is I want to see Basic Attention Token get on Coinbase. I want to see it in the first wave. I want to see 2 tokens added. I want to see Basic Attention Token, and I also want to see ZRX. But if you held a gun to my head, please don't do that, and asked me which one I believe is, if I had to only pick one, I believe it's ZRX. And the reason for that is there is a lot of evidence pointing to some kind of backdoor, behind closed doors deals and meetings between ZRX and Coinbase. Nothing illegal or shady. Obviously, if they have this partnership, they don't want to announce it till they announce it. But there's a lot of evidence, some stuff with them both filing paperwork for the SEC around the same time, former Coinbase employees working for ZRX and advising them, which, as we know, Litecoin also had the same situation as Charlie Lee was an employee of Coinbase. And so you have that side of it. Then you also have what ZRX brings to the table. ZRX brings the ZRX protocol, which a lot of people think that Coinbase is going to use that protocol to add more ERC20 tokens in the future. So I almost believe ZRX is like the gateway to getting more ERC20 tokens on Coinbase. So I think ZRX is getting added first, but I agree with everything in this article at the same time. And that's why I would like to say I would like to see them both added. I do think, I've said it in a lot of my videos, I believe Basic Attention Token is, to me, it's the best thing out there. But I just believe ZRX is going to go first. So you can check I'm starting to put all of my links to the stories I talk about in the video information below, so you can read it. As you can see up here in the top right-hand corner of my screen, I do use the Brave browser. I put my money where my mouth is. I really love Basic Attention Token, so please don't get that twisted. I just feel like ZRX is getting added first. Personal opinion, not financial advice, of course. So we have Enigma, secret contracts and Enigma. So basically, Enigma is a smart contract economy, just like so many of the coins and tokens are. But one thing that Enigma brings to the table that is different than, let's say, Neo or Ethereum or any of these other kind of infrastructure type coins is that it adds a privacy layer. So instead of calling them smart contracts, they call them secret contracts. So if you look at this graph here, or this graphic, if you will, it shows that basically the way that the execution model works is that you have Enigma, okay, and you have the blockchain, and the blockchain sends information here to be coded, and then it skips back over the blockchain and comes back to Enigma. So what they call that is blockchain agnostic. So what it means is these off-chain computations are taken from the main public blockchain and encrypted into pieces, which are then distributed among all of the nodes on the Enigma network. So like we talked about with storage and Oyster, it's like file sharding. They break up the files. So these break up the information that's being computed, and then they spread them across different computers and different nodes on the network. And so really any one of those individual nodes will not have all of the information. And that is how you are able to keep your information private with Enigma. We talked about Enigma last week, about how they spoke to the United Nations about blockchain technology. So that was a really cool story. We love to see teams getting out and talking about blockchain. And honestly, I didn't know that about Enigma, about the secret contract. So I think that's cool. I wonder if that will be another term that just becomes more popular over time. So Ripple, as you guys know, I personally, and this is personal, don't be offended if you're a fan of Ripple. Ripple is not my favorite cryptocurrency. And the reason is obvious. It's because it is centralized. We talked about in one of our videos how when Jed McCaleb left Ripple, who was one of their founders, that they froze his funds. And so that's not what we want to see. However, the technology behind Ripple and what it is doing for the banking world is groundbreaking. What I'm about to show you guys, like, let this sit inside of your brain and just imagine the improvement. And we're at the beginning of cryptocurrency that this is on the old system. So the release of Ripple's xRapid seems to be very impressive, and I agree with that. So if you don't know, Ripple basically has 3 different products, and one of them is called xRapid, and they're testing out these products with different banks. So the aggregated results from several pilots of xRapid indicate that financial institutions facilitating payments on the corridor along the U.S. and Mexico recorded 40 to 70% savings compared to what they normally pay foreign exchange brokers. Now check this out. An average xRapid transaction took just over 2 minutes, a remarkable improvement on the 2 to 5 days it takes when using traditional methods. Cryptocurrency is here, guys. And when you have to pay an international transfer fee, it's like 40 cents. You know, it's not very much, most likely, depending on how much you're sending. I've had a lot of international transfer fees, and they're very small, maybe a couple bucks on a few $100s. So imagine you're a bank and you're having to pay those international transfer fees, and it's only, let's say, 40 cents, but you've got 1 million customers. Those numbers really add up. So what Ripple is doing here with the xRapid system to be able to exchange foreign currencies back and forth, it is really incredible. Personally, I don't think Ripple is good for the cryptocurrency movement, but yet, like I said, the technology is incredible and it's undeniable. So I'm not invested in it. I'm not interested in investing in it. But if you are, news like this has got to tickle your ears. So let's look at Wanchain. We did a review on Wanchain, and Wanchain is an incredible project. Personally, I love it. I put it in one of my top 5 cryptocurrencies. We got a fun video coming out soon where we'll be talking about that. But they have an update here on different things that they're doing. They have an update from China. They have an update from a forum they went to, a different conference. But this is what I want to talk about because this is really cool. So it's called the Wanchain Name Service, WNS, which if you think of domain name service, that's DNS. But anyways, and you'll understand why I make that reference. WNS is the Wanchain Name Service, a distributed, open, and extensible naming system based on the Wanchain blockchain. So you can go to their GitHub and see it, but this is basically what it is. The solution, aka WNS, will allow users to register domain names for their wallet addresses instead of having to use the current system of a combination of letters and numbers. To pave the way for mainstream adoption, there are needed changes to simplify the process. WNS has similar properties to the current internet DNS. This is also incredible. I love what Wanchain is doing here. Like when I have to send my Ether wallet public key somewhere, I can't remember it. I remember kind of what it starts with. And so I could just kind of go, wherever I have it stored and I look and I'm like, oh, that's my address. So I pull it and I send it wherever it needs to be. But how easy would it be if it was like bitboyswallet.wanchain, So I think it's really cool. And of course your private key would still say your private key, but this is for public use and for people to be able to exchange cryptocurrencies with you. Of course, this would affect privacy as, nobody knows the name attached to a set of numbers and letters. And, if I had my name in there, then people would know it's me, but I don't really care. I'm not as much on the privacy bandwagon as some other people because I'm not doing any illegal purchases online. And I know that's not the only reason people want privacy, but for me, it's not my primary concern in cryptocurrency. But this is really cool. They have some more updates on here. I'll put the link below so you can check it out. But I really like Wanchain. I really like what it's doing. I wish I had a position in it. I don't right now because I've got, I'm banking on a few things right now. So I've kind of consolidated my holdings. But it is a long-term project I do like. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to enter our contest. Subscribe, like, comment, the whole 9 yards. So that was your daily crypto news.